Welcome to our video on grayscale conversion in black and white. We're using version 7 here. Let's open an image and see what we're dealing with. We are talking about the grayscale conversion area here in the top right corner, which of course is the cornerstone of the black and white program. For those of you who might not have done much work with black and white image processing, you're not just able to make one black and white image variant from a coloured image, but a huge number of different ones. If I right-click here, we can see the original colour image. This black and white conversion is the one the black and white program provides as the default one. This is one conversion up here in the RGB colour space. 3 other colour spaces are also available. The colour space is used to determine how a coloured pixel is turned into a brightness level, or a grayscale. If I now click the HSV colour space, the hue saturation value, we see that areas like the sky, for instance, become very light. I'll click on the original image again with the right mouse button. Generally, any pixels with very strong colour saturation become very light in the HSV colour space, whereas it's more mid-range in the HSL colour space. The Luma correction is a weighted RGB conversion based on how our eye perceives the colours red, green and blue. So RGB is an even mix of red, green and blue, and Luma is red, green and blue based on the perception of the eye. We are free to choose any colour space we want. The item below that, spectral sensitivity, which I'll click now, opens up a whole range of sliders where we can define the brightness of individual colour tones. That is, we determine which colour is given which level of brightness or spectral sensitivity. If we choose sky blue here, let's just right click again, we can then darken or lighten the sky to what we want with ease using this slider. Or let's take these blue buildings down here, this deep blue. Here we can use royal blue to darken or lighten these buildings too. As you can see, the sky itself barely changes because there's no deep blue in there. This sky is more turquoise. And if I want, I could now, for example, make everything with orange and yellow tones a little lighter. That means I can completely change the effect of the black and white conversion by adjusting the spectral sensitivity however I want. Let's close this area. It remains active, as you can see by the coloured double arrow next to it. The third area in the black and white or grayscale conversion is the colour filter area. You might be familiar with that from your camera. You can screw a colour filter onto it, maybe a red filter. It then makes blue darker and everything that is red or orange a bit brighter. Or, if you're in the portrait area, maybe an orange filter or even a blue filter. That makes the sky lighter and everything that's not blue a little darker. You can also combine these variants, these manipulations of the grayscale conversion, like we have just done here. We have set a spectral sensitivity. I'm going to reset this to the red filter. I might then decide afterwards that I don't want the RGB colour space now, but perhaps the HSL colour space instead. I really have a lot of freedom to design the black and white conversion in the way I want. One other thing we should maybe note at this point, although we're in a black and white image editing program, colour is still an issue. If we use the Xcolor module here, and just blend the colour back into our converted image, the colour is extracted from the original image and adapted to the new brightness distribution. Maybe we just blend it back in partly. That lets you create really interesting variations of images. So, black and white isn't just a black and white program, but an expert in black and white conversions.